So financial management and budgeting is probably the least sexy thing that we can talk about when it comes to personal training besides administration. However, it's probably the most important part of your business. If you have a mismatch of cash coming in versus cash going out over an extended period of time, your business ceases to exist. If your business ceases to exist, you have to go find a real job. Now, there tends to be a few different types of people when it comes to managing their money. There's people like me who for the first 5 years just spent everything they earned, hand over fist, accumulated all of this debt because I'll just make more and everything will be fine. Only to turn around and realize I had a shitload of non-functional debt that I had to drag myself out of. Or maybe you're like Jason, who's a money in the shoebox kind of guy. Stored up all this cash and then went to go get his first car and they're like, sir, you make no money. Now this becomes a real problem, and if you have a look around all the gyms that you go into and even online spaces, how many personal trainers do you see? What percentage of personal trainers are over 27? And then think about what happens around that time frame. We start to need money for cars or homes or weddings or travel or all of these things that we would like to do that we would need to prove that we have some form of income that we generally don't. So having a legitimate process and the way to manage our money is super important. There's also a second function to that. Have a think about if you had 10 sessions walk out of your business tomorrow. So for most people, that's anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a week just gone. Disappeared. If that was to happen to you, what would you do? Can you survive 4 weeks without that money? Can you survive 2 weeks without that money? Can you survive a week without that money? How long would it take for you to replace those clients? Now, what if it's not that the clients leave? What if it's that you have a car accident or you break your leg or you have to take care of a sick family member? All these things are real possibilities. There's also the external possibility that something that goes on totally outside of our control and the whole world gets shut down for 2 years. So being on top of your finances can be the difference between you surviving these times and not surviving these times. I'll be honest, inside Standout PT, we go through a deep dive of how exactly to set up your accounts, send your tax, manage your super, how many accounts you need, make sure you manage every element of your life and never actually have to think about where your money's going ever again. Have freedom in your spending and accumulate wealth over time. But that workshop takes about 90 minutes. So I'm just gonna give you an insight as to changes you could make right now to get some positive impact in the way you're managing your money. So what we call the silver standards of budgeting. You should have a separate bank account where your income goes into and all of your business expenses go out of at an absolute minimum. If you still have your direct debit company paying into your personal account, you have a real fucking problem. It's gonna cost you a fortune in accountancy fees. You're probably gonna be behind on your tax and you're gonna get a big bill at the end of the year, or you're just showing no income and you're actually shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to being able to make investments to grow your wealth and improve your lifestyle down the track. So if you already have a separated business and personal account, which we should, it goes into the business, money goes into the business, money goes out of the business to pay our claimables, and then we pay ourselves out of the remainder. If we have that, now we can start to consider what else happens inside those accounts. In your business, it's a great idea to start running a couple of different bank accounts to manage your funds. We like to have a savings account and a marketing account. So any courses or anything like that pop up, a good mic, a camera, that should all come out of your business savings. We like to attribute around 10% of our overall income into that. We like to attribute about 10% of our profits into that savings to make sure that we can make purchases in the future. You might also want to have one for marketing. So if you're doing any paid marketing, or maybe you want to build a website, maybe you want to hire a video editor or do something along those lines, you're going to need some spare cash put aside. So again, you can attribute a percentage and put that aside in your business account somewhere. In your personal account, I speak from personal experience here. The biggest change that I saw in my spending habits, my stress around money, and my behaviors was giving myself a weekly amount of play money. I kept it quite low. It still sits around $100 a week. And that's $100 that I can spend without ever speaking to my wife, checking my bank account, whatever. Every single week I have $100 of discretionary spend to do whatever I want with it. Outside of that, I have money that goes away to smaller items, to bigger items, and then to long-term wealth creation. Now with that in place, my weekly day-to-day lifestyle doesn't really change whether I put on 10 clients or lose 10 clients. That just keeps ticking away, and what happens in those other accounts doesn't actually affect my day-to-day life. I know I have savings accumulated, I have goals set for other things, and that money is accumulating in those accounts to allow me to be able to live stress-free, know exactly what I've got to spend every week, just like someone who was on a salary. Other considerations are obviously going to be things like, are you paying GST? Are you not? And then how are you paying your super? I'm not going to go into the importance of super here, and I really recommend that you check out Scott Pate's Barefoot Investor, particularly the stuff around super. The model that we use in our Standout PT program is a lot like the Scott Pate model. We just found that the percentage distributions that he uses didn't quite work, who had varying incomes every week. We had a lot of people becoming really stressed because they'd fall in and out of positive and negative. When we attributed the weekly spend, it made a huge difference to everyone's quality of life, their stress levels. Now we're able to actually save more over time. Now, if you would like to get a bit of a behind the scenes look into the budget template that we use, it's actually part of our 6-figure business systems checklist video tutorial. I know that's a mouthful, but in the caption below, there's a link to our 6-figure systems checklist. When you download that, you also get access to a 5-part video series. In that 5-part video series, I show you live exactly what our budget tracker looks like. So you can go from just some general accounts to being really specific about what you need to do within your business and within your budget. Like I said, how many personal trainers are out there over 27? When we have to start doing adult things like get a mortgage, get married, do all of these things, it just pushes people out of the industry. And if you're 20 right now and you're thinking, I'll be fucking rich by then, Ben, it's fine. Ask yourself that question again. What would you do if 10 people left your business next week? Do you have the funds available to survive? What if you, I don't know, ruptured your knee in the gym tomorrow? What are you going to do? How are you going to survive? How much savings do you have behind you to be able to keep your business afloat? Sure, you can pivot, you can move online, you can do all the things that we've learned in the last couple of years to keep your business afloat, but you're going to take a financial hit. How much of a financial hit can you survive right now? The easiest way to change that is to change how you manage your finances and set you up for a long-term future in your business where you can live stress-free, stop dodging phone calls from creditors, expand your business, expand your life, and get the reward that comes with actually being a business owner. On the way to the description and hitting that link, hit the subscribe button and just share this with any personal trainer that you think might need it. We'd love to get this message out and help as many personal trainers as we can get on top of their finances. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.